Yeah. So one thing I'll just say on that, because like people are asking us like, oh, when Binance, and like we're literally talking to some of the highest level people at Binance and have relationships with them, and this has been an ongoing discussion. We actually, like, the real news is that we turned down a Binance um, listing in 2021, which was a, super stupid in hindsight. But they did want just a ridiculous like pound of flesh, and we just thought it was like it didn't make sense. It was too expensive. In hindsight, we should have done that. Like, it's actually one of I think the bigger mistakes we've made. Um, which I don't even know if that's public, so you can people can get angry about that if you want. But we have kept a pretty good dialogue with them, and we are talking with a number of the senior people there. And like a listing is inevitable, but there has been these macro there has been these macro shifts. Like, the question is when their business model has completely shifted. Part of it is due to uh, obviously Binance is setting a lot of the terms and everything that happened with CZ and the DOJ, and then what's happening with the SEC. But my belief of what's happened, and you can have, like, for instance, Ben Horowitz from uh, Andreessen Horowitz, like, has talked about this openly. But basically, what they did under uh, the Gensler regime is they intentionally sent Wells notices and overregulated, pretty much, well, regulated by enforcement, every single legitimate crypto company. So if you were successful, uh, everything Uniswap, OpenSea, Ethereum, Ethereum Foundation, Polygon, all these folks got Immutable. Just happened with Immutable. All these folks basically got Wells notices from the SEC. No regulatory clarity, but they let meme coins just run, basically, and they didn't touch meme coins because what they wanted to do was so you can launch a meme coin based on the current, or sort of the existing regulation, and have no liability, and be regulated because of the distribution of the holdings, and because of how it launches, and because of all these things. There's no rules. You can just launch the stupidest meme coin ever and have no liability, basically, or very limited liability as a founder. But if you actually want to do something meaningful, if you want to do something that actually provides value, that actually provides utility, and you actually want to sort of like consider holders, then you're penalized for that, based on how the current regulations are. So then, based on those regulations, what a lot of the exchanges started to do is they said, "Hey, listen, it's not if we're considered as an exchange, basically trading anything that remotely looks like a security, then we're subjugating ourselves to all types of liability. So therefore, we're just going to become a casino." And literally, like, I've heard this directly from people at the top major exchanges, basically saying, like, this is just how we're pivoting. We're becoming a casino. That's the first thing. The second thing is they changed their business model, where they realized that they could take 10, 15, 20% of a token supply at TGE, and they're just willing to list like complete dog shit, basically, in order to get that large percentage. And then they basically just completely dump that on retail. So the more you're a legitimate project, the more that you're actually building something of value, the greater you're penalized, from the exchanges. And like, that's the current state of play. I don't think it's going to be like that forever. I do think it's just like inevitable that it'll actually shift. But those are kind of like two reasons that we're not on Binance right now, I guess, from behind the scenes, as well as a couple other of the top exchanges.